Free audio post-production by alphonic.com.
Okay, let's unpack this. We live in a world that's, well, absolutely consumed by external measurement, right?
Oh, completely. Trackers, steps, sleep scores.
Pure reflections, yeah. We're just constantly looking outside for data points to tell us how we're doing.
And look, that data can be useful, no doubt, for optimizing certain things, but it's created this massive blind spot.
A blind spot. How so?
We've become sort of strangers to the internal conversation. You know, that constant sophisticated dialogue happening inside our own bodies. We just don't listen anymore.
Right. It's like we've outsourced our ability to actually feel.
Yeah.
So our mission today is to dive into that lost internal world. We're talking about interoception. Basically, your inner sense, the ability to feel, interpret, and process what's happening inside your own body physiologically.
And we're leaning heavily here on the work of Alexandra Kash. She wrote Longevity Through Physical Activity, the 15-minute habit. She does a great job connecting, high-level neuroscience with really practical movement science.
And she points out something that's kind of frustratingly true, actually.
Yeah.
Most of us, well, we can instantly describe the color of our shirt or the taste of coffee, like you said. But ask someone to describe, I don't know, the subtle shift in their heart rate just before anxiety hits.
Or that tension creeping into their jaw before they even consciously know they're stressed.
Exactly. They just draw a blank. It's like the words fail us for those internal signals.
They really do. And we're conditioned, aren't we, to override discomfort. We use caffeine for fatigue, distract ourselves from those little emotional stirrings.
We push through everything until the body basically forces us to pay attention.
Usually through injury or illness, unfortunately.
That pattern is just, it's not sustainable. So today we're going to unpack why interoception isn't just a nice to have. It's really the foundation of self-awareness, emotional balance.
And crucially, how you can actually start tuning back in, listening to the body's whispers before they become, shouts.
Think of it like getting the user manual for your own nervous system. I like that.
That's a good way to put it.
Okay, let's start with the immediate mechanics then. Kash's sources really emphasize this point. The body speaks before the mind even registers the thought.
That's absolutely key. When we talk about feeling an emotion, the physical side is already happening before you can even name it consciously.
So every emotion has a physical, like a motion or manifestation.
Exactly. A physical motion or signature within the body. Think about anxiety or high stress. It doesn't politely wait for your brain to catch up.
Right.
It instantly triggers that rapid, shallow breathing, muscle tension spikes. You feel that physiological urge to move or, flee.
And the opposite is true too, right? Sadness, low energy, it slows everything down.
Yeah, your pace gets heavy, posture might collapse, movements feel restricted.
Whereas joy is expansive. You feel it in your chest, deeper breath, more fluid movements. It's not just poetry, it's physiology.
Precisely. These are immediate physiological readout. And what's fascinating here is how literal these feelings can be, especially something like a gut feeling.
The gut feeling. Okay, so that's not just a metaphor.
Not at all. It's not some mystical thing. These feelings are rooted directly in our physical structure. Specifically, get this, the fascia.
Wait, fascia? I thought that was just the white connective tissue, the stuff holding muscles together. Seems like an odd place for intuition.
Well, that's the old school definition.
Yeah.
But what the science and what Kash highlights shows is that fascia is so much more than just padding.
Okay.
It's this intricate sensory web. It's packed, absolutely packed with nerve endings. Think of it as a genuine extension of the nervous system itself.
Wow.
It's constantly sending feedback data about stretch, pressure, vibration, tension back up to the brain.
So the fascia is like a body-wide internet mesh, constantly translating our physical state into information. Is that fair?
That's a great analogy, exactly. And within this supersensitive mesh, you have specific receptors acting like specialized microphones. There are two key types to remember. First, the Ruffini endings. These guys detect sustained stretch and pressure. And here's the crucial part. When they're stimulated gently, like through slow, mindful movement, they actually help calm the autonomic nervous system.
So Ruffini endings, they're like a built-in calming switch.
They are powerful regulators, yeah. Then the second type, Pacinian corpuscles. These are tuned completely differently. They pick up on vibration, quick shifts, movement.
Making the body really dynamic, sensorially speaking.
Highly dynamic. So if you ignore all this constant input, this interoceptive data stream from the fascia, You're basically cutting yourself off from the first and fastest source of info about your own emotional state.
That makes perfect sense. If the body sends the data first via fascia and we ignore it, we lose the chance to catch things early.
Okay, so if the body speaks before the mind, how do we actually use that information? This must be where the nervous system comes in.
This is really the core of self-mastery, isn't it? Interoception is the bridge. It's the key to self-regulation.
Connecting the physical feeling to...
What? Mindful action.
Exactly. It's how we communicate, or rather how our body communicates with the autonomic nervous system, the ANS.
The ANS, that's the silent conductor, right? Running all the background stuff we don't consciously control.
Precisely. Heartbeat, digestion, the immediate automatic stress response, all that.
And it has those two main modes.
Yes, the two major operational modes we need to understand. First, there's the sympathetic nervous system, the SNS. It's your accelerator, the fight or flight response.
Gets you ready for action.
Right. Spikes heart rate, blood pressure, shunts energy away from things like digestion, focuses everything on immediate survival.
And the alarming thing, based on the sources, is that, well, with modern life, endless emails, noise, bad sleep, most people are basically stuck in sympathetic overdrive.
Chronically. Yeah. And the consequences of that chronic overdrive are huge. It's not just feeling a bit anxious.
No.
It leads to low-grade inflammation, messed up sleep, digestive issues like IBS are often linked. You become much more reactive emotionally. Your threshold is lower.
Because the accelerator is always floored.
Pretty much. Which brings us to the system we desperately need more of. The parasympathetic nervous system, the PNS, the brakes, rest and digest.
The recovery mode.
That's the one. It slows the heart rate, restarts proper digestion, lets the body repair itself. We need to actively cultivate PNS time to counter all that modern stress.
And the connection between these two, the bridge you mentioned, and central to interoception, that's the vagus nerve.
The vagus nerve is the superstar here. It's the main communication highway between the brain and almost every internal organ. Your built-in reset button.
Okay, and this is the detail that really clicked for me from the material. 70% of the vagus nerve fibers are sensory.
That's critical.
They're not just sending commands down from the brain. They're mostly relaying information from the body back up to the brain. It's a massive feedback loop.
Exactly right. And that sensory feedback loop is fundamental. How well you can sense your internal state is directly linked to the strength of your vagus nerve response, what scientists call vagal tone.
So if you have good interoception, you can sense what's going on inside.
You're much better at consciously nudging your system towards that parasympathetic calm state.
So better vagal tone isn't just some abstract scientific marker. It translates directly into real-world resilience.
Absolutely. Better emotional regulation, less anxiety, improved heart rate variability, which is a key sign of physiological resilience. Even better digestion. It literally gives you the power to shift out of overwhelm almost at will.
It takes you from being just a passenger reacting to everything
to being the pilot, making adjustments based on real-time internal data.
Okay, here's where it gets really interesting then. Moving from the theory to what can we actually do? If we need to relearn our body's language, Alexandra Kash offers a clear path.
Yeah, the goal is to shift from just reacting constantly to sensing internally and then responding thoughtfully. She outlines 3 really powerful tools for rebuilding this awareness.
Tool number 1.
Use the breath as the anchor. Deep, slow, diaphragmatic breathing, we'll get into how, is probably the quickest way to manually trigger that parasympathetic rest and digest response.
Okay, breath anchor. Number 2.
Movement as feedback. And like you said earlier, this isn't about killing yourself at the gym. It's about dynamic, mindful movement. This directly stimulates those fascial receptors we talked about, the ruthenian and Pacinian ones.
Right. Waking up the sensory web.
Exactly. It builds awareness and neurological resilience. And third,
awareness as power.
Yeah.
This takes conscious effort, right?
It does. It means deliberately doing regular internal check-ins. Just pausing and noticing. What's my heart rate doing? Where am I holding tension right now? How's my breath? That simple act starts reclaiming control from the autopilot.
Okay, let's make this concrete. We have 2 practical exercises from the source material that anyone listening can try, like today, to gauge and improve their interoception. First one sounds fascinating. The heartbeat awareness test.
It's deceptively simple, but very revealing. Find a quiet place, sit or lie down, get comfy, close your eyes.
Okay.
Now, set a timer for exactly 15 seconds. Here's the key. Without touching your pulse anywhere, just focus inside your chest and try to count how many heartbeats you actually feel.
Just feel them. Okay, make your best guess for 15 seconds. Then what?
Then immediately repeat. But this time, use your fingers on your wrist or neck to count your actual pulse rate accurately for the same 15 seconds.
Got it. So you have felt count versus actual count.
Exactly. Comparing those two numbers gives you a direct snapshot of your current interoceptive strength. And research consistently links better heartbeat awareness with better control over anxiety and stress.
And if the numbers are way off, like I feel 5 beats, but my pulse was 15.
Don't panic. It just means there's room for improvement. It shows you where the work is, and that work directly builds your ability to self-regulate. It's a great, non-judgmental way to track progress.
Nice. Okay, second tool, the one for resetting the nervous system.
Diaphragmatic breathing. This is the one to practice regularly, because most of us breathe shallowly up in the chest, especially when stressed.
Right. So how do we do it properly?
Best way to learn is lying down, knees bent, feet flat on the floor. Feel that connection. Then place your hands lightly on your lower ribs, sort of where they flare out just above your stomach.
Okay, hands on lower ribs.
Now, inhale slowly and deeply through your nose. But here's the focus. Concentrate on expanding your ribcage outward, sideways, into your hands. Think about pushing your belly out slightly. The goal is not to lift your shoulders up toward your ears.
Avoid the shoulder shrug. Expand outwards.
Exactly. That means your diaphragm is moving down properly. Then exhale slowly and completely through your mouth.
And just repeat that. For how long?
Even just 3 to 5 minutes makes a difference. You get that immediate vagal activation, the calming effect. Plus, you start noticing your breath patterns more throughout the day. And there's a physical bonus too. The diaphragm connects to deep core muscles, so doing this properly actually helps strengthen your core stability and posture.
So it's good for inner peace and physical structure. Win-win.
Definitely.
So what does this all mean? Wrapping this up, our deep dive really shows that interoception, this ability to sense and interpret our internal state, it's maybe the ultimate self-mastery tool. And it's accessible to everyone.
It really is. It allows us to kind of train ourselves to catch those early subtle signs of stress before they snowball and overwhelm us. It's the power to consciously shift gears out of that sympathetic panic mode and into parasympathetic balance.
And the danger, as Alexandra Kash points out, is outsourcing that awareness, relying on a watch to tell you you're tired, or letting external chaos dictate your internal state.
When the greatest, most accurate guide, your own system's operational status, is right there, inside you, always sending signals.
Mastering this internal language, it feels like the critical missing piece for both physical health and, maybe more importantly, mental resilience.
I'd agree. The body speaks before the mind thinks. And literally every breath you take is either restoring some balance or disrupting it further.
So the challenge for everyone listening is pretty simple, but also profound. Are you willing to really tune in, to listen to your actual physiological reality and gain that power to regulate your emotional and physical state from the inside out? Maybe start listening to those whispers today.
Free audio post-production by alphonic.com.